At 2:13 a.m., the lake's surface glowed with a color that shouldn't exist. What we found below the water would make the rumors about its bottomless depth look like child's tales. My name is Jake, the one who keeps the land running while my brother Carl sketches logos for big corporations from his laptop. We inherited 25 acres of isolated desert, a place where the nearest grocery is a half-day's drive away. Life is simple: mow the grass, fix the fence, fire up the grill on the old gazebo, and stare at the stars. Carl never cares about the land. He cares about deadlines. I'm the hand that holds everything together, the man who watches the silent water every night. None of that mattered after the night the lake showed us it had no bottom. The setup Gaspar's Lake sits at the edge of the property, a perfect circle of crystal water no larger than a football field. In daylight it looks like any other sinkhole pond clear, still, reflecting the endless sky. At night, though, a faint, sickly glow rises from its center, like a lantern swallowed by darkness. First contact one summer, a state fish and game officer stocked the lake with trout. When fall came, there were no fish, not a single carcass, not a ripple of movement, just silence. I thought maybe the water was too deep, but the bottom never showed. Escalation, the rope experiment. When Carl was away on a client flight, I called my drinking buddy Earl, and we decided to measure the depth. We tied a half-inch nylon rope to a cinder block, marked it in 10-foot sections, and dropped it from a John boat. The rope kept spilling out 50 feet, 100, 150, nothing stopped it. Maybe we should tie it off, I asked. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, Earl muttered, but the rope kept unspooling. But it gets worse. We pulled in the rope, added more, and watched the spool spin until the cinder block vanished. The boat's cleats snapped, the rope disappeared, and the lake swallowed it whole. Escalation, the winch attempt. 3 days later we rigged a truck winch and a pulley system, feeding the rope through a motorized spool. The cinder block sank, the rope ran out, and the winch groaned as something massive pulled back. The truck's front lifted a few inches. "It's gonna take my truck," Earl shouted. The tension snapped, the rope recoiled, and the block resurfaced, slick with a dark, oily slime that smelled like rotting leaves and kerosene. Here's what they missed. Earl remembered a contact who owned an underwater inspection sub, rated to 1,500 feet. We borrowed it, attached it to the winch, and lowered it into the abyss. The reveal, the sub's descent. At 300 feet the lights illuminated rough limestone, just as we'd expected. At 400 feet the stone gave way to a smooth, glassy surface that no natural waterway should have. That was the easy part. Deeper still, the walls vanished and the sub floated into a cavern of pitch-black water. The lights barely cut a circle of illumination. Beyond that, only darkness. We kept the sub going. At 800 feet the camera caught tangled, rope-like shapes drifting like seaweed. They were thick as tree trunks, coiled, then uncoiling, revealing a surface like an old avocado. And then an eye, 20 feet across, bronzy-colored iris, triangular pupil, staring straight at the camera. My stomach dropped. The mass erupted, more eyes, more mouths, rows of teeth catching the weak beam, all moving in unison. The monitor went dark. Confrontation. The escape. Shit. We have to get out of here. I screamed, but Earl was frozen, transfixed by the horror. The lake's surface began to churn, whirlpools rising like fists. I grabbed Earl's arm. "We have to go now." The truck lurched forward as the winch released its hold. The engine revved, tires lifted, and the vehicle was yanked toward the water. The back end rose, the cabin tilted, metal screamed. I flung the door open and leapt onto the slick shore, ankles snapping as I hit the ground. From my low perch I saw the truck suspended in the air, wrapped in a massive, glistening black worm that dragged it back into the abyss. Breath. Earl's screams were swallowed by the roar of tearing metal. The VCR I'd set up to record the descent landed a few feet away, its tape spooling uselessly. The lake settled, the glow fading as if nothing had happened. I told the paramedics I'd fallen off a ladder. My leg is broken. The video is the only proof I have, and the sheriff keeps showing up asking about Earl. The state inspector wants his sub back, but I can't hand over footage of an impossible creature. I'm staring at the lake now, the water perfectly still, as if waiting for the next drop. Some people who've heard this story swear they've felt a cold breath on their necks while passing the pond at night. What do you think really lives beneath the water? Leave your theory in the comments. If you crave more real-life horror like this, check out Audible's free 30-day trial. You'll find dozens of terrifying true story audiobooks that make this lake feel like a kiddie pool. https www.audible.com free trial. Subscribe for a new nightmare delivered every week, and keep the lights on. What do you think was really down there? And would you dare to drop a rope into an unknown abyss? Save this so you don't forget it. Breath.